Hello aspirants, welcome to GDC English classes YouTube channel. So in this session, we will discuss about the drugs act as a antiplatelet drugs. Name itself indicating they inhibit the function of platelets and helps in the treatment of platelet aggregation related clotting disorders. Okay, so let's see the classification in detail. So the name itself indicating these are the drugs inhibit platelet aggregation. They are known as antiplatelet drugs. Especially they decrease the function of platelets. They decrease the function of platelets. First one, thromboxane A2 synthesis inhibitor. The low dose aspirin. Thromboxane A2, one of the enzyme involved in the synthesis of thromboxane. Thromboxane involves in the formation of thrombosis, clot formation. Low dose of aspirin only suitable. High dose of aspirin is not an inhibitor of thromboxane A2. Especially low dose of aspirin can inhibit the COX enzyme and decrease the further formation of prostaglandins. Next, phosphodiesterase enzyme inhibitor dipyridamole as well as 𝘂𝙎𝙎, 𝘂𝙎𝙎𝙎𝙬, I am unable to mention here. So this dipyridamole increase the adenosine levels. The adenosine having negative effect on the platelet aggregation. Next, P2Y12 purinergic receptors are adenosine receptor blocker with a trick pratik. So pratik, P means PRA, prasugrel. TI means ticlopidin. Again TI means ticagrelor. C means clopidogrel as well as cangrelor. Among this prasugrel, ticlopidine, clopidogrel, they are irreversible inhibitor of P2Y12 purinergic receptors or adenosine receptors. So when these adenosine receptors are activated, they promote the platelet aggregation. But these receptors are blocked and prevents the binding of adenosine diphosphate. If adenosine diphosphate not binds to this receptor, no aggregation of platelets and no clotting disorders. Next, glycoprotein 2b or 3a receptor antagonist. The trick is T. Among this, 𝘂𝙋𝘼𝙏 is a monoclonal antibody. Tirofiban as well as eptifibatide are synthetic in nature. So here glycoprotein 2b or 3a receptors are involved in the the terminal reaction of the platelet aggregation. If everything is completed, one platelet to another platelet to attach with help of this glycoprotein 2b or 3a. Like how H plus potassium ATPase enzyme plays a key role in acid production, like here also without glycoprotein 2b or 3a there is no attachment of platelets each other and no platelet aggregation. So this glycoprotein 2b or 3a receptors present on the surface of the platelets, and one platelet surface is attaching to another platelet with help of glycoprotein receptors. So if these receptors are blocked, no attachment of one platelet with another, and that leads to inhibition of platelet aggregation, that is antiplatelet function. The examples like tirofiban, eptifibatide, 𝘂𝙋𝘼𝙏. Next, thrombin receptor inhibitor. These thrombin receptors, also known as protease activated receptors, comes under G protein coupled receptor. If these receptors are activated, they promote the thrombin action and involves in the clot formation. But the drugs like 𝘖𝙂𝙎 inhibit this type of thrombin receptors or PAR1, protease activated receptors. Inhibition of these receptors, no activation of thrombin and no formation of thrombosis, clots formation, no clots formation. So this is simply about the classification of antiplatelet drugs with the possible tricks as well as mnemonics. So simply here there are different classes. Inhibitors of thromboxane A2, aspirin inhibit the prostaglandin synthesis by inhibiting COX enzyme and directly inhibit this thromboxane A2. And dipyridamole 𝘂𝙎𝙎 inhibit the phosphodiesterase enzymes and inhibit the P2Y12 receptor by drugs like prasugrel, clopidogrel, like these drugs. And inhibition of glycoprotein 2b or 3a receptor with help of 𝘂𝙋𝘼𝙏, a monoclonal antibody, and tirofiban and eptifibatide are the drugs. Next, protease activated receptor inhibitor or thrombin receptor inhibitor like 𝘎𝙗𝑎𝑃𝑔. So this is about the simple classification of antiplatelet drugs, especially inhibit the function of platelets and prevent the aggregation of platelets, helps in the treatment of clotting disorders under the involvement of platelets. So like this interesting videos and concept based videos, subscribe to GDC English classes YouTube channel, share with your friends, classmates, juniors, seniors, and as well as your faculty also. Thank you.